So Ken Carson just had a pretty crazy week. I mean, he reunited with an old producer, got accused of fighting him, then had DMs leak, got hacked, songs got leaked, and even got announced in a super interesting placement on the Rolling Loud California lineup. Like, there are so many things to go over for Ken Carson, so I know you guys are going to want to stay updated on that. We're getting into that in just a second, but before that, if you could drop a subscription. Sad Part 2, I'm bringing you all the rap commentary videos that your little heart could desire, so stay up to date and hit the sub button. While you're down there, hit the like as well, because let's start with Ken Carson and Starboy, okay? So Ken Carson and Starboy had a little bit of a public falling out when Starboy said that he wouldn't be producing for Ken due to his like upside down cross affiliation, because Starboy is taking a Christian route and he didn't really think that Ken was matching that. And because of that, there were a lot of people hating on Starboy, and there was a tension between Starboy and Ken Carson just due to this. But this was all put to bed the other day when Ken Carson actually followed Starboy on Instagram. And he's following 9 people right now, which is, you know, great opposition to how it was before. I think he was following 0 or 1, but a lot of these people on here that he's following are all producers for the most part. And then Nick Spiders, who is a OPM creative director for Ken Carson, but he's following 16-year-old who, I know you guys have heard him. He produced Mo Bamba. He was really big back in the day, like a bunch of cool Lucky songs and stuff. I don't think he's been around that much recently, but seems like Ken is bringing him back for the album. Then we have Out of Town, who is a producer as well, worked with Ken before on songs like on albums like X and A Great Chaos. Then we have Prod Lucian, who is Nalo World. I know you've heard him produce before. I believe he worked on Lil Tracy projects back in the day, Netspend songs. Then we also have Legion, Sky, and most interestingly, well, Filthy as well, but most interestingly to everyone was Starboy, because they thought that everyone thought that, yo, Starboy's done with Ken, they're not working together anymore. But Starboy is following Ken, and Ken is following Starboy. And Ken Carson was even following 4 people at one point, with Starboy being one of them. So that kind of shows like the importance of Starboy to this new Ken Carson project. And they've had problems over the years. I don't know if you guys remember when apparently Ken Carson had stolen a PS5 from Starboy, and then Starboy had to go to Cardi, and Cardi made him give it back or something. I think that was before they had even worked on music together, but they obviously have a little history, and maybe due to this, they were able to resolve their differences and be like, yo, like, look how far we've come, man. We shouldn't let all this get in the way of us. And yeah, there was also a recent post shared of Starboy to his Instagram where his face was kind of bloodied up, and I believe it's from microneedling, which is a little nice facial treatment. But many fans believed that due to this being posted the same day Ken Carson followed Starboy, people thought, yo, like, did they get into a friendly fade? Like, did they box it out and now they're friends again? I clearly don't think that this is the case, but, you know, we'll see how this unfolds in the future. I guess next we should talk about the Ken Carson leaks and hack, because this was a really interesting situation and scenario that maybe some of you have heard of, but you don't know the full extent. So basically, someone hacked into Ken Carson's A Great Chaos account, which was like a spam account that Ken used in rolling out his recent album. And they actually DM'd Ken Carson from this account. Ken ended up posting the DMs to his story, as well as tweeting about it, and even snippets got shared. But first, let's go over the DMs. So the dude, the A Great Chaos dude, ended up DMing Ken and saying, "Not a leaker. I just want music for my ears. No snippets will surface of anything you send me. Let's get this over with, Ken. Everything will be returned and songs will be safe. Ken, this taking so long. I can do a lot more than get into Instagram accounts. This was just a place to contact you from." And so clearly this dude is trying to like intimidate Ken Carson by triple texting him and claiming to be some dude who can do something to Ken by saying, you know, I can do more than just getting Instagram accounts. Like, I don't know what he's trying to imply with that, but it is a bit daunting. He continues saying, "All I'm saying is I don't want to have to do anything else. You don't want to have to deal with anything else. Let's get this over with." And bro, he is literally like threatening Ken Carson over DM from Ken Carson's own account. That's kind of crazy. With the sole goal of getting snippets and like unreleased music. So I don't know, bro. This is kind of insane. This is kind of an insane tactic to get songs from your favorite artist, and I think it's pretty clear that this dude doesn't have any power over Ken Carson. He was just able to get into an Instagram account. He's not a worldwide thief or something. I don't know. But yeah, Ken replied saying, "I ain't reading all that, lil brah," which is like an insane way to respond to a physical threat or whatever he perceived the message as. But he continued replying to the taking so long, and he said, "You're going to be hacking everybody for no reason. All my stuff already hacked. I don't see you taking a W here." And yeah, it's pretty much the best way to respond to him. You can't feed into it. Honestly, you just don't even answer. But he was probably like, imagine getting a DM from your other own account. That would be so scary. Like, you look it on your phone, and I'm sad part, and I see a DM from Floodgate, and I'm like, what? That's me. How am I getting a DM from myself, bro? That would be scary. Yeah, and then Ken Carson also shared this tweet to his story saying, "Someone hacked it to blackmail 4 songs." And I don't understand why these opium dudes can't just like type normal, bro. Like, I get it. Like, you got to commit to the aesthetic and really make it one of your own. But bro, like, this is a serious message you're giving out to your fans, and they need to know not to like get scammed by A-Grade Chaos or fall victim to any, I don't know, bro, but having to spell blackmail with like 2 K's and put a 2 and a 4, like with no spaces, like, come on, bro. It's on 2 separate lines. Someone is with the 1. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater, but like, I don't know. It's kind of funny at the end of the day. But another important thing we need to discuss is low key the Rolling Loud lineup, because Rolling Loud is like arguably the biggest rap festival in the world right now, and Ken Carson is one of the main names on the lineup. Like, it could be argued that he is the co-headliner on Sunday, just due to like where his name is placed on the flyer. But basically, let's get into an explanation. So basically what happened is the Rolling Loud sale was kind of postponed for a couple days due to these fires that have been evacuating LA. But the main takeaway is that the Rolling Loud Festival is only 2 days, so they kind of like shrunk it down into Saturday and Sunday. Usually they have a 3-day festival with like a bunch of artists and a bunch of people, but because of this list being shrunken down, I think they weren't able to get as many artists as they wanted, or as high caliber artists as they wanted, and this brought Ken Carson, shot him up to the top of the list. And yeah, a lot of people have been saying recently that, yo, like, Ken Carson is big enough to headline his own festival. Like, Ken Carson could headline Rolling Loud on his own. And now we get his biggest placement on a festival by far. As you can see, Playboi Carti is the headliner on Sunday, March 16th. That's why his name's at the top in big letters. But the very first name following Playboi Carti is Ken Carson, and that's like so crazy to see his name that high up on the list, bro, because basically they're saying that he is more relevant and bigger than every single artist after him, and that includes people like Quavo and T Grizzly. Like, these were people who a few years ago were literally the biggest rappers out, and a few years ago Ken Carson was like an underground SoundCloud artist. Like, it's super insane to see how far he's come. Like, 3 years ago, you would look back, no way. 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, you would be like, bro, Ken Carson is going to be like the co-headliner of a Rolling Loud, bro, you're lying. This Rolling Loud is really interesting in general, though. I mean, we have an A$AP Rocky headliner on Saturday. I think it'll be cool. Hopefully he previews some of the new album, because we know Cardi won't be doing that. We also have Peso Pluma special guest, but I don't know if you're into the underground stuff, but Cemetery and Joey are both getting their Rolling Loud debuts. We got Netspend, Osama Sun, and Xavier So Based. We got Until Japan. Just, I don't know, super cool Rolling Loud lineup. Hopefully I'll make it out there. Let me know if I'm going to see you there in the comments, though. And appreciate you for watching this far. Drop a subscription if you're new. And YBL, man.